Hello, my name is Sheila Ruffin, and I'm going to be talking about integrating literacy and literature activities. For this presentation, I'm going to be talking about a 16 book campaign or challenge, is what I'll refer to it in this presentation. Just an idea that I had based off of another idea that we kind of currently do at our school, and I'll kind of explain that a little further. Okay, what will this presentation be all about? Well, like I said, it's going to be about developing a literacy activity. And for this particular presentation, I chose to come up with a 16 book challenge. I'll talk about some features of the challenge, what it would entail, what all be involved. The tool that I chose to use for this activity was Edmodo. But as I go through the presentation, you can probably think of several other tools you could use, which would work just as fine for this particular challenge. Then incentives. Just like the challenge that I was referring to that they currently do at my school, it's called a 25 book campaign, where kids basically get a reading log or book log. They write down all the books they've read, and then I think a teacher has to sign off, and then they turn the log into the librarian. And some of the incentives that the kids get are like candy, T-shirts. They'll do a field trip or a celebration activity and things like that. Just ways to kind of encourage kids to read. And I came up with a few incentives as well, along with some of those that we currently do. Then I'm going to talk about some benefits of a literacy program. And then, of course, our follow-up activity. What is the 16 book challenge? Well, like I said, at our school, we do something called a 25 book. And what I wanted to do was, keep something along those lines, but make it a little more engaging. So as I continue to explain, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But the details of this challenge will be students must read 16 books. It could be a mixture of fiction and nonfiction literature, kind of anything they want to read, any format, the audio books, ebooks, or print books. I wasn't aware that young adults read or really use audiobooks, but after reading our text, I can tell that, it talked about how they like to multitask, which is definitely true for teenagers. So audiobooks may be a pretty good deal for them. So I just wasn't aware that teens use audiobooks, but pretty cool. Then for kids to get involved in this challenge, they have to enroll in the challenge on Edmodo. I'll probably have to promote that with collaborate with teachers and administration on how to promote enrollment. But all they have to do really is sign in or make an account and then just add a code. What they'll do on Edmodo is provide book reviews for the books that they've read. They'll just post a review. If they want to post reviews that are anonymous, they'll be able to do that. They don't want people to know, that it's them reading a particular book or something like that. So just to kind of keep their privacy, if they want to post anonymously, they can. The challenge, there has to be a time frame. So just like the one we currently have at our school, they have a semester for the 25 books. So I figured a week before the end of the semester to kind of have it done. Actually, I'm not 100% sure if the 25 book campaign is a full semester, but I do know they do have some sort of time frame, and it is close toward the end of either a semester or 12 weeks. I'm not 100% sure, but for this particular challenge, since it involves more engaging, like book reviews, even book discussions could happen, I figured a week before the end of the semester would be plenty of time for kids to read and respond or comment if they want to reviews. Some features of this campaign would be book talk. Since I'm using a tool like Edmodo, I could introduce books in a way that would make kids want to read them. Maybe add some book trailers or things like that. excuse me, to kind of get kids interested in, trying out books they may not know about, may never heard of. And then also I could guide students to quality literature, and get them excited about reading quality literature. Another feature would be pairing. This is where collaboration will come in. If kids are studying like Romeo and Juliet, I could feature the West Side Story to try to pair that with what they're already studying. So pairing would be another feature that I would use in this 16-book campaign. For the book talks, like I said, I would add those to Edmodo just to promote books, try to get kids more interested in books, like I just said. And again, like those book trailers, videos, I love those. So I'd add a few of those. Then also with Edmodo, I think that we could get a lot of book discussions going on. Students can interact with other readers. They'll read other students' reviews. They could comment if they want to. Compare, what they thought to their peers, things like that. So I think that this will provide an environment where there could be a lot of quality discussions. I could also interact with students and what they've read. Pairing, again, like I said, it would be key to collaborate with teachers, kind of figure out what content they have going on in their classes, what they're talking about, the curriculum they're using, and what literature can be paired with that the curriculum they're using, and what could be paired with that content. So, and then of course, Edmodo does provide an environment for reflection. Maybe kids could talk about, oh, this is similar to what I've already was doing. This is similar to what I was reading, things like that. So it just, again, provides an environment where there could be a lot of discussion and opens up opportunities for more teacher collaboration, as well as collaboration with the students. The tool, like I said, that I'll be using is Edmodo. If you don't know about Edmodo basically looks like a Facebook. So it takes you into the mind of a Facebook. It just literally looks like a Facebook account. It's just kind of toned down more for classroom use, more appropriate. Teacher has more control. You could delete comments and things like that, and kind of monitor comments. So that's why I chose to use a tool like Edmodo. And again, Edmodo allows teachers and students to kind of connect and share ideas, and other students as well can share their ideas with each other. So how will kids get into it? How will it be set up? Well, again, kids will register using a code, like I said before. All they have to do is create an account. They don't have one. If they already have one, just add the code and join the group. They will post a review on every book they read. And then they can, if they want, comment on other reviews. They'll see promoted books. It's back to those book talks, those movie trailers, or book trailers, I'm sorry, and things like that. Now, let me give you an example of what the Edmodo would look like for this particular book challenge. Okay, here's the setup in Edmodo. Again, if you've never used it before, once you create an account, all you have to do is click create a group to actually create a group, and it'll generate a code for you, and that's what you share with anyone that you want to get in your group. If you already have an account, you just hit join a group, and then you'll type in the code and things like that. So this is pretty much how it will be set up. I would post, a discussion. Every kid who's on their first book would comment on this particular one, and then all they would do is give me the title of the book, the author of the book, and then a review of the book. So for each book, there will be for each book, there'll be a post. So like book 1 review, book 2 review, book 3 review, so on and so forth. And then within this, students can comment, respond. I can comment, respond, participate, and then on this page, I can promote other books and things like that. So this is pretty much the setup for it. Sorry, looks like it's freezing. This is pretty much how it will be set up again, and you can do other things. You can do polls in here if you want kids to get their feedback on particular books that maybe several students have read or are reading and things like that. So it's a pretty cool tool. Like I said, you may have a ton of other tools that you've used and things like that, or you could use for this particular activity, but I like Edmodo. Okay, that's how it's set up and things like that. Now, some incentives, like I said, some suggested incentives to kind of encourage kids to participate. T-shirts, maybe if they read 8 books, they can get candy if they're at the halfway mark. And then end of semester field trips, end of semester celebrations. In my school, we have something called Viking Time. Kids get that every week. It's kind of like a extra advisory period where kids get to choose activities they want to be involved in. So we have like a book club. Kids could do like art club, things like that. Debate team can meet, things like that. So I would use that Viking time to kind of celebrate those kids. So that have met the challenge. So we wouldn't, it wouldn't affect instructional time, but still we could celebrate those kids, kind of winning the challenge. So just kind of find time where you could do these incentives, and this would require some collaboration with the administrators and things like that to kind of see what would work and when it would work and things like that. Some benefits. Beard and Ingtram describe some of the benefits of program literacy activities. So some of them were, it leads to collaboration with students and teachers. Teacher librarian becomes a purposeful collaborator, and it increases students' motivation to read. And then it provides opportunities for the teacher librarian to give lower achieving students extra attention. This would come from collaborating with teachers. They can identify those kids, and then you can help them if they're struggling readers. Maybe you can find books that would help them and things like that. So I thought these are some really cool benefits or key benefits to a literacy program. Now, the follow-up activity. For the follow-up activity, you're going to go to Edmodo. If you already have an Edmodo account, all you have to do is enter the code. If you don't, you just register. You can register from phone or computer, and then you'll join a group and then type in the code. And then once you get on there, you'll see, let me show you. You will see take a quiz. Here, mine tells me if it's turned in or not, but you'll see a button that says take quiz, and all you have to do is take that quiz, and that's the follow-up activity. Now, these are the resources that I use for this particular project. They're all listed here if you want to check those out. I appreciate you looking, or hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you. I look forward to your feedback.